Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm just tired. But anyway, I'm gonna be talking about something that's it's been on my mind for quite a bit. Recently, as if you've been following the news, that Ethan and me are no longer friends, and it's permanent this time. Because Ethan's no longer around any of us. Nobody in my friend circle talks to Ethan anymore, and vice versa. Well, Ethan doesn't reach out to me, but Ethan don't reach out to me or anyone. But that's not the point of the video. As you see by the title, yep, I think this generation has ruined relationships, and that's the thing that's been on my mind for a little while. And I just haven't been around to make this video yet, and I finally have some spare time to do so. So yeah, keep watching and I'll get into it. So now, guys, you're into the actual video part. So recently, I've just felt that this generation has just literally ruined like friendships and dating. And back in the day, back then, when our parents were growing up, that they went out all day with their friends, and literally that they didn't come back until the street lights were on. I've heard from millennials when they grew up, back in the 80s and 90s, and they even said that that they didn't come back until the streetlights were on. But this generation has completely screwed that crap up. Now, nowadays, in friendships, and this is what millennials and what older generations do not understand about Gen Z, is you can go out all day, and I mean all day. You can come back. You can go out at 8 in the morning, come back at 9:30 p.m. And 90% of the time, you won't make a friend. And you want to know why that is? Because Gen Z puts standards on relationships. I'm not saying all Gen Z. Again, not all of Gen Z does this. But a lot of Gen Zers do that. Yep. A lot of Gen Zers do that. I've seen it myself as a Gen Z myself. This doesn't apply to everybody in Gen Z, but as I can say, I'm speaking for the majority, because the majority does do it. Now, I've met some pretty good Gen Z people. I mean, like Nazir's Gen Z, and I like him because we're the same darn age. But I like Nazir. I've met Nazir, and I like him. And like I said, this doesn't apply for all Gen Z. But again, I have to speak for the majority, and the majority of what I've seen is the fact that Gen Z has ruined relationships. They've ruined dating. They've ruined everything. Honestly, it's gotten to the point where I don't even know if I should even go to prom, because it's I mean, I could go to prom by myself, but then what's the fun? What's so fun about going to prom by yourself? It's almost like it's so abnormal anymore. It's like back in the day, man, you used to be able to do a lot more. Nowadays, it's just everything's about this, everything's about that, everything's about what phone you have. It's kind of annoying. It's just the truth, though. Okay, well, we're back. That was really weird, but anyway, we're finally back. Um, anyway, we're back on the topic of like now, like back in the day, you could have done a lot more. You social skills you think you have, it doesn't matter. To modern to what modern people look in a friendship, it's crazy. Like Gen Z, anyone that's Gen Z would understand what I'm talking about. But if you're not Gen Z, you probably wouldn't completely understand the the dynamics. The dynamics of Gen Z is completely different. Nowadays, it's like what phone you have or how new your phone is. Like personally, I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, but like some people in the world would be my friend just simply because I have that phone. And it's like, nah, man, be my friend because you genuinely like me and not be my friend like Ethan did just because, well, he wanted to use me for content. Like, let's be for real here. Like, let's be for real here. I'm not speaking for all of Gen Z, but I am speaking for a good portion of it that has done this, that has I have experienced this and experienced this and experienced this plenty of time. All of it is basically what material you have, and if you don't have new stuff, or if this person don't have that, or if that person don't have that, then they're not worthy of a friend. And I know people don't specifically say that, but again, you don't have to say it because actions speak louder than words. I honestly wish this generation was not like this. I wish this generation would have been as decent as uh, the millennial generation, because clearly the millennials had it a lot better time than we did, and is going to have it a lot better time we did. Millennials have relationships a lot better than we did. They didn't have to worry about teenagers getting drunk. Our generation has teenagers getting drunk and everything. Our generation shows zero respect for everybody, and like I said, I'm not speaking for everybody, but again, I'm speaking for the majority, and from the part of Gen Z I've seen, because I've not only seen this, I've heard it, and I have read upon it. I've done everything I can. Why do you think loneliness and depression is literally among this generation? Like, why do you think everybody's sad? Everyone feels lonely. Everyone feels depressed. Everyone wants to end their life because of this stuff. It's because nobody can make real friends anymore. This generation is messed up dating. This generation has messed up literally everything. And when I mean by it messed it up, oh, they messed it up. Because I've tried getting a girlfriend. They're not loyal. Girls are horrible at loyalty. Boys do a whole lot better at loyalty than girls. And that's not only backed up by research, that's backed up by my experiences. I I'll have a 20% better chance at, at at keeping a boy than keeping a girl. And that's talking about friendship. So you can imagine how actually hard it is to actually find a real girlfriend that's loyal and that's not a stinking gold digger, because that's what this generation is thinking about, dude. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad when I on the news when someone is yet again counted as a suicide. You know how mad that makes me when people take their life? This is so preventable, but nobody wants to do anything about it because nobody wants to take any accountability for their actions, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of constantly hearing stories about people being rejected just simply because they have a physical trait about them. It's not about physical. I want Gen Z to be able to look past that. I challenge my own generation this stuff to be able to look past that. It's not all about what it's not all about that. It's not all about the physical. It's about the social. It's about the social. And if my generation keeps on acting like this, I have no idea. Because I'm already about to literally give up on dating. Like, I'm not about to do it. Like, I might actually do it. Like, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I'm literally tired of it. Like, I am literally tired of it. And my friends are tired of it. And honestly, I'm getting so tired of it. And for those of you that think I'm being negative Nancy, it's not being negative. It's called being reasonable. It's called being real. And it's called being honest with yourself. And if you're not honest with yourself, start being honest with yourself, because that's when you're going to find the truth. And when you find the truth will set you free, because the truth is what's real. That's why I got tired of it. I got tired of being so, there's nothing proud of what our generation has done with dating and literally everything. Like, there's more dating violence in this generation than there was in last generation. There's more certain crimes. There's more drug crimes. There's more people drinking and driving, because all that is now normalized, even though it shouldn't be. Because that stuff shouldn't be normalized. Dude, if you would have done that as a millennial, you would have got your butt whooped by a belt. This generation has zero accountability, zero for anything. This generation is literally the worst generation on the face of the earth. And yes, I'm telling my own generation that because it's the truth. Again, I'm not speaking for everybody, because I'm speaking for the ones that if you are confused, and if you don't think not anything I'm saying applies to you, then it doesn't. But if you know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you know exactly what applies to you, then fix it. Fix it. You don't gotta mention it out loud. You don't gotta tell everybody. But what I'm trying to do is get people to stop being a jerk to other people. Stop making people feel so darn lonely to the point where they have to take their own life. That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous for people who literally can be preventing this. It's ridiculous that you would allow someone to go that far, where you make someone feel so low of themselves to the point where they feel like they have to commit suicide. That is completely ridiculous, that you have to make someone do that. The fact that you want to bully somebody to the point where they have to do that, that's ridiculous. People should be ashamed of themselves. Bullies and all should be ashamed of themselves. And anybody, that's why I am so protective when it comes to bullying. That is something I don't take very lightly at all. That's just something I don't take very lightly. I don't take bullying very lightly. I'm very sensitive when it comes to bullying. Ethan found that out very quickly, that I wasn't putting up with it. And now, guess what? He's the one begging me to come back. And he tried to tell me I was going to be the one coming back to him. Guess what? He came back to me. Yeah, that's what bullies do. Yep, bullies feel alone inside themselves too. That's why they have to bully, because it's the only way they can get attention. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually getting tired of what this generation has been doing to people who actually have trouble making friends, because there are people who actually have trouble making friends. There are people who actually have trouble with that. And telling them to keep trying doesn't work. If you want to keep on trying to work a minimum wage job while trying to pay $2,000 of rent, you can go right ahead and keep trying, but I doubt you'll succeed. Keeping trying doesn't always mean you'll succeed. It just means you're going to fail and fail and fail to the point where you're just going to embarrass yourself. There is nothing okay with just telling someone to keep on trying so they can keep on failing, because that's what this generation does. It pushes people to the max, and then when they actually rage and when they actually get mad, then it's, oh, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that, you're bullying. No, they're not bullying for showing anger. You know what the problem is with this generation? That we normalized that it's okay to not show emotions. That's what shouldn't be normalized. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to be upset. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with a man feeling down. There's nothing wrong with that. And if there's anyone that thinks that there's something wrong with that, they need to check themselves. Because what this generation has done is ridiculous. And if you think the stuff I mentioned in this video ain't happening, go look it up. Go do research. Because as a Gen Zer myself, this is very credible. I have no reason to lie, and if you still don't believe me after you look it up, then I don't know what to tell you. Because guess what? Gen Z will grow up and have children. And guess what's going to happen with that? People will see what this generation has done. New generations will come after Gen Z, and guess what? It could be worse and it could be better. And I hope it is better, because that's the only thing I can hope for. I can hope for better, but hope doesn't change things. Hope only provides a positive outlook, which doesn't do nothing at the end of the day. But I'm just making this video for informational purposes, because it needs to be made. It needs to be made. Yep, it needs to be made. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button. Turn on post notifications if you want to. I don't really care, because I'm just done. I'm done letting this stuff go on, and I have to respond to it. I have to respond to it. I can't just let this stuff go down without it being mentioned. I'm done with this generation. And I'm not happy with what this generation has normalized. It's not okay, and it's not normal, and it is not normal for someone to bully. It is not normal. It's just not normal. This generation has darn normalized this crap to the point where people think it's normal to bully. People have normalized sick stuff, and I'm not happy about it. What this generation has normalized is As a Gen Zer myself, I can fully tell you that this is very, very credible, and I have no reason to lie about it. Peace.